So this question is more into regards of being creative, using your imagination, and, just a creative realm. So when people enter this area of first-time doing sales or even mortgage, people are afraid of going next to that line and making it seem more, exclusive and things like that. So for an example, I'm saying like, if someone called in and you gave them a program, and people are like, yeah, we have this Ready Home Possible program, and then they basically are telling them the program, right? Yeah. Instead of just keeping it, hey, we have this exclusive program. Mm-hmm. I mean, what's your advice for these guys that want to get more creative? Because obviously you've gotten creative on your own, right? This is something that, not everyone can do. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, do you have any advice for these guys to get next to that line without crossing it?
Yeah, for sure. So it was easier when I was coming up because when I was coming up as a loan officer, there's only two programs. There's a 30-year fix and a 2-year fix with a 3-year prepay, right? It's going to be a little bit more of a challenge now because you have so many different options where you're going to want to kind of go over it because you just learned it, right? So that's kind of newer agents, they cause their own tripwires because you just learned about this program and you're so excited to talk about it. It's like the brand new car, right? But the real objective is to first figure out what problems they have, and actually where the creativity comes in is where you actually solve that problem, right? But solve it without using the lingo that becomes confusing. So instead of saying, hey, I got this Freddie Mac Home Possible loan, like what is that, right? What you say is that, hey, you know what, we got this program that we do here that does this, this, and this, and this, and this is the solution that they're looking for, right? Because there's no point in talking about a particular program unless it actually has something to do with them. If it's not applicable to them, you've lost their interest and they don't want to talk to you. But even worse is that if you start talking about things that they are not familiar with, it's Spanish to them. So unknowingly, you're going to push them farther away from you because they have no idea what you're saying. Mm-hmm. But what they do understand is the situation that they're in, and your creativity comes in with actually combining and kind of fusing in the two, right? So I know that, let's say, Jim's hurting because of his debt load. He's relying on overtime, and even though he gets paid a lot of overtime, he's still check to check. I know to zero in on that and say, hey, what if you lost your overtime? What would you do? Right? Creativity. So I'm thinking outside the box. But the average LO would just say, how much you earn every year? 112 grand? Got it. Put it in and not even really think about asking deeper questions. Like, is any of that overtime? How often are you working overtime? Did overtime drop? Right? Because we're not thinking about it as them. We're not empathetic as they are. So when you actually apply it to your own living, like right now, like if you didn't make any sales, how the hell are you going to pay your bills? All right? So it's kind of like them. Like if you didn't work overtime, which right now you're check to check, how do you pay this bill? How do you pay that bill? What's your nest egg? What's your plan B? Right? Because that's what's going to create urgency, is finding what their fears are, finding out the consequence. See, a lot of people, when they sell, they're more focused on two things. Number one is why they won't buy, right? Oh, they're not going to buy because they're not going to like the rate. They're not going to buy because they don't like the fee. But instead, really look at it and focus on, well, why should they buy? Right? Well, they should buy because it's going to improve their FICO. They should buy because it's going to pay off their debt. They should buy because of this, this, and this. And that's how you should come in. When you present it, you're going to need that confidence and that bravado in your tone, right? Because if you're selling with a hint of doubt, like, oh man, they're not going to buy it, they're going to read that from you. You're going to fumble your words. You're going to get, are you sure you want to move forward? Like even you're shocked. Are you sure? All right. What do you mean? All right, yeah, no, I don't want to move forward anymore. Okay, whew. What the hell? Right. So you don't want to put yourself in that position.